Welcome to the Valley of the Sun and what looks to be a gorgeous weekend for racing in Phoenix, Arizona. Today, Budweiser pole qualifying live on speed for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. 50 cars, 7 go home. And here is how we left the last Nextel Cup race, with Ken Schrader leading off the drivers in the danger zone. Because they're in yellow, they're outside the top 35 in owner points. The cars in yellow must qualify on time. Those above the line are safe for this week. So along with Sanjaya, the rest of the go or go home list looks like this. Dale Jarrett still has the champions provisional if needed, but that is a big group of drivers hopeful of one of the 8 positions available in the field. And oh, by the way, somebody will also win the Budweiser pole today for the Subway Fresh 500, as we have the car of tomorrow out here in the Arizona desert. I guess it's not the car of tomorrow, it's the car of today, and then we'll drive last year's car somewhere else. Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, Darrell Waltrip, your announced team of tomorrow and today and Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, I still think it's the box car. You're in a tight box. That's not a pretty name, but somebody can come up with a better one. You know, everything's in a box, Larry. Everybody talks about, well, they got us in this tight box. It must be a box car.
But here's what's going to be interesting about the car tomorrow here. We raced it at Bristol. We raced it at Martinsville. We said all during those 2 weekends that Bristol is Bristol. Martinsville is Martinsville. They're kind of elements of their own. I think this is the first real test for this car tomorrow. And Mike, just going back to that go or go home list, Darrell and I were looking before we went on the air at the qualifying order, and this session's starting about 5:10 here Pacific time. That means some of the guys that go late in this session, the track's going to really cool down. And a lot of those go or go homers go early in this session.
And this is a fun racetrack to race on. It's a 1-mile racetrack, but it's got a lot of personality. Turns 1 and 2 got 12 degrees of banking. You got the little dog leg up the back, kind of keeps it interesting. Then you run into 3 all the way down on the apron, left side tires, little 9-degree banking down here, and a great big sweeper coming to the start-finish line. It's a fun racetrack to race on.
And I think that's what's going to make this qualifying session interesting, because if you look at especially those go or go homers, it's such a line sensitive, hit your mark racetrack. You miss your mark by that much, you'll be shooting up the racetrack, and then you'll be shooting back across the country going home.
And now without the aero downforce of the car we have been racing for the past several years, going to be a whole new ball game. Let's go down toward the starting grid and join Steve Burns.
And thank you very much, Mike Joy. Now, Kenny Schrader is the all-time winningest driver here at Phoenix International. He's got a total of 15 wins in a variety of different race cars. But today, here in qualifying in the Cup Series, Kenny, you find yourself in the position of having to make it in on your time and speed. Obviously, this is a special place to you, but do you feel more pressure having to get in on your speed?
Oh, you definitely feel pressure. I mean, if you're in the go or go home crowd come qualifying day at the Cup races, wow, there's a lot of pressure. But the little car was, Motorcraft car was good in practice. Hopefully, I got 2 more laps left in me.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck today, Kenny. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Last week, Kyle Petty dropped from 32nd to 34th in the driver's standings, inched in to that danger zone. Kyle, every race is important, but does this race take on even greater importance knowing Talladega is next, and that's such a huge unknown there?
You know, every race is important, and you can't say that. You know, you look at each race individually. Last week, we just had a freak thing happen, and other than that, we'd have moved up 2 or 3. We wouldn't have moved backwards. But, you know, being 35th, it's not that bad, man. Believe me, we were 36th and 37th last year a little bit, and, you know, we talk about how bad it is to be 34th or how bad it is to be 35th, but really we're all here to race, and we're here to be competitive, and if you're not competitive enough, you probably shouldn't be here racing. And I've said that before, and, you know, I still stand by that, whether I'm in the top 35 or not in the top 35. But after the events of this week, I think it shows you how precarious and how fragile this world is, and I think everybody in this community, the NASCAR community, our thoughts and prayers are right here with everybody and the families at Virginia Tech.
Absolutely, and all the cars in the field, Mike Joy, all carry a sticker, black with the Virginia Tech logo, in remembrance of all those that we lost up in Blacksburg.
They do, Matt, and one car has a special tribute besides. We will see that car in just a minute here. Pole qualifying from Phoenix International Raceway is ready to roll on speed. Speeds presentation of Bud Pole qualifying from Phoenix International Raceway is brought to you by Waste Management. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think Waste Management. With the Saguaro standing tall in the Arizona desert, down to Steve Burns.
Thanks, Mike. Good times for Jeff Burton, the most recent winner in Nextel Cup competition. Driver one after the other coming by to shake hands with Jeff, and further good times. Jeff, you're a two-time winner at this racetrack, 2 top 10s here a year ago. Why do you like this racetrack so much? What suits you about this place?
I don't know. Compared to my teammates last year, I wasn't very good. They did better than we did. So, you know, we've talked to Kevin and Clint both, and hopefully we can be a little better this time. But I don't know. I love the racetrack. I think it's one of the best places we go for racing, and you know, you get multiple grooves, and it's going to be interesting with the cot. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good luck. And his teammate Kevin Harvick won both races here a year ago, Matt.
And down on the grid by driver 8's car, Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking to Fatback and Jr. 2 old school guys. Fats, he's funny. A double whammy for you last week. I don't know what was neater for you, the fact that someone asked you to jump in their race car, or the fact it was much like old school guys like the King and Darrell Waltrip that would jump in relief for different people.
Well, it's a real big sign of respect, I felt like. I mean, there really wasn't anybody else standing around with a driver's suit on but me, but so they didn't have much to choose from. But you know, that was really, really cool. But and any time, you know, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. But hoping it, you know, being that it's a Chevrolet, of course. You know, we had a real good car last week, and you got to find different ways to end a bad day on a good note, and we were able to at least have something else to talk about, get your mind off of the frustration of wrecking and blowing up.
It was old school.
Very old school. That's the way I like to keep it.
And the last guy to go to victory lane having a relief driver, it was Donnie Allison back in 1977 at Talladega. And Darrell Waltrip, do you remember who his relief driver was?
Yeah, I do, Matty. I relieved for Donnie, and he was driving a Hawaiian Tropic car. My Gatorade car had blown up. Same thing that Junior was doing. I was getting ready to leave the racetrack. I was just getting ready to take off my uniform. They grabbed me and said, "We need you." All a team has to do, I don't care if you need an engine, a car, a driver, that's our community. That's the way we treat each other. We live together. We work together. And you can't say no to someone, particularly in his case, where they run the same brand of car. There's no conflict. There wasn't any reason that he couldn't have done that for those guys.
The first car will roll in Phoenix when we come back. Qualifying is underway. Ward Burton smokes the left front getting in the corner. You see the big Virginia Tech logo on the hood. Team owners Larry McClure and Tim Morgan. They have the only Virginia-based team in NASCAR. They're in Abingdon, Virginia. Not that far from Blacksburg. They have a Virginia Tech engineering student as an intern on their team, and a lot of close ties to Virginia Tech, and they wanted to honor the school, let everybody know they're thinking of them. And as the father of 2, and sitting next to the fathers of college-age daughters, just all of us are so saddened by this tragedy, and more so with the news that keeps coming out that perhaps it could have been prevented.
Yeah, that too.
Ward Burton is attempting his 3rd start of 2007. He raced at Las Vegas and at Bristol. 43rd in owner points, but failed to make the Texas race because we talked to you about the number of qualifying attempts that they were credited with.
I was a little concerned about Ward being the very first car out. Darrell and I were talking about that. The track has actually been sitting for about 30 or 45 minutes. There was a group of Busch West cars out there that run a little different tire combination last on the racetrack, but actually Ward has picked it up about 2.5 tenths from what he ran in practice, so we'll just have to somewhat see how that 27.78 stacks up.
And I watched these cars, same thing we saw at Martinsville with these cars, picking up that left front, coming up off the corner. Maybe not quite as dramatic as Martinsville, but here still lifting that tire up off the ground a little bit, and that's a chassis problem that somebody's going to have to get fixed.
Mike Bliss on the speedway. Here's a look at Ward.
It just kind of
hiking the left front.
It hikes it up like an old modified used to do. And that's lack of travel, I assume, on the left front. It's running out of travel, so it starts picking the wheel up.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things, Darrell, because they're having to run such a different front spring and front shock package, plus different length A-frames that limits travel and creates more or less travel.
I assume guys would probably run a lot of rebound in that left front shock, trying to keep that corner pinned down. That could be lifting that wheel up too. So it's definitely something that's got to be worked on.
Mike Bliss again this week has the BAM Racing Dodge painted up in the colors of the Paralyzed Veterans of America. You can get information at pva.org. Missed the first 3 races, but has made the last 4.
Now, he was way down the list in practice, Mike. He was 45th quickest. He has actually picked up a little bit on that first lap. But I do feel like again, we're going to have to see more cars run. You're going to have to run in the 27s to make this show. And his second lap's a little quicker. I just don't know if a 28.02 will do it.
No, I think
picked up half a tenth, but he was so loose off 4. Hard to get to the line.
And I think that's another thing that's going on with this car tomorrow. Like we talked at the top of the show, we felt like this would be a real good first test for this COT car, because you fight turning in the middle at Phoenix ever since we've been coming here in 1988. Well, that's something you really fight with this car tomorrow, because they don't travel as much. So you start doing things to make it turn, hurts the exit of the corner.
And I think that you get a better look at the car here than we did at Martinsville and Bristol. Those are little small racetracks, and I don't know, it's something about a little racetrack. Any race car looks kind of cool going around those little racetracks. Here you get a whole different view of this car. You get to see the whole car from front to back, and I tell you, when these things go by, they're funny looking.
It's the biggest track they've been on, the first mile track test for the car of tomorrow, as Ryan Newman comes out to make his qualifying run.
You know, the good thing, Darrell, is turn 1 and 2 is almost already completely in shade. Of course, that means it's cool and it's getting some grip. I think this will be a pretty good gauge of what the track has in it. Ryan was one of the faster cars. Most of the practice ended up 6th quickest.
Not this lap. Well, it might be, but he messed up that turn, I can tell you.
3 handfuls of steering wheel
Lost
there.
a lot of time down there.
Newman's the track record holder, had 3 consecutive poles here, 2002, 3, and 4.
Now that's a 27.74 on lap 1. He ran a 27.63 in practice. We've been seeing the first 2 cars did pick up on lap 2.
He kind of what he did that first lap, he went into 3 kind of low, and the car slid up the hill, and when he tried to bring it back down, it got a little bit snappy loose. This was a smoother lap. And
the stopwatch reflects it.
51. So Newman is quickest, then Ward Burton and Mike Bliss.
Tell you, even for qualifying here, the air pressures are pretty, I mean, obviously very sensitive as to how the car is going to respond, but you don't run a lot of air in the tires here. You don't have an interliner, so it's a little bit different feel here.
Jeff Burton rolls off next, bringing in the momentum from his win at Texas when he led 1 lap. This one.
And I watched that replay, and if Kenseth tried to pin him down getting into 1, and when he did, it made Kenseth go up the hill further than he needed to. Couldn't get back to the gas. Jeff shot right up in front of him, took the lead.
That was Burton's 19th career win. He has finished 15th or better here in the last 12 races, including back-to-back wins for Jack Roush, 2001.
And you know, until he won at Dover last fall, that's the last time he had been to victory lane, was here in 2000.
Well, 3 active drivers have 2 wins here. Burton and let's see, who else was it? I had Burton, Dale Jr. and Harvick. They have 2 wins. Davey Allison has 2 wins here too.
Pretty good first lap, 27.78. Now, Jeff was 11th quickest in practice.
That's right on top of Ryan Newman's first lap.
Exactly.
I would anticipate you'd pick up on your second lap. Mainly because you see Jeff get that thing right down on the apron. That's not unusual. Guys do that to get their cars to turn. And they don't do it to get it to turn to upset it. There's grip down there. There's more grip down there than there is up in the groove.
Didn't pick up on lap 2, however, so Burton is second, behind Ryan Newman and ahead of Ward Burton and Mike Bliss. Welcome back to Phoenix, where Kyle Petty will be the 5th driver to take time. 34th in owner points coming in, and what this week is, I believe it's the Wells Fargo Dodge. It is.
Yeah. It's that paint job. I know that.
Now it's an Avenger. They run the Charger with the car of last year and still this year, but in the car of today.
But that's a funky looking shot when that thing's going out of camera. Looking at the back of it going down the straightaway, it's just.
And a lot of folks have asked, why are all the wings black? We'll answer that in a moment. First, Matt Yoakum.
And Brian Vickers buckling into his Toyota. We're seeing the shade now, Brian, starting in turn 1, starting to inch out toward the exit of turn 2. How much does this track change throughout qualifying?
It's definitely going to change a lot, especially qualifying starting this late. Luckily for us, turn 1 and 2 is already shaded. It's probably unlikely that 3 and 4 will be shaded before the end of qualifying. So it's going to cool off some. It's going to get faster, but hopefully it won't be too much.
He's been a great qualifier here in the past. He's been second twice. Then last fall, he started 3rd. Steve?
Matt, Ryan Newman is still the fastest. Were you happy with that effort, Ryan?
Well, we picked up. I think the track's cooled off a little bit. That's why I went to ask Jeff Burton there if he thought he had any more grip in the racetrack than practice, but he said he slowed down a little bit. So I guess that's good for us. But I'm pretty sure the track's going to get a little bit faster. It's just a matter of us being 6th in practice, picking it up a little bit, and if anybody else picks it up more.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan is quickest. Kyle Petty ended up 4th of 5 with a 27.89. This is A.J. Allmendinger. Now, he made both COT races, Martinsville and Bristol. He made the show.
Yeah, that's the slowest lap so far that anybody's run. He's got one more lap to go, 28.13. I feel like the pattern we're seeing, we mentioned it a while ago, you need to get in those 27s at least.
Car looks really free on him. Just doesn't look all that comfortable to drive.
I believe he may bump down in the 27s. He will, 27.94, so that puts him in front of Mike Bliss right now, 5th quickest.
And the story on the wings, NASCAR issues the wings at random to the teams on arrival. So they don't have them back at the shop to paint because they're issued by NASCAR. And then after the race, NASCAR wants them back. Wings that are not damaged are put back in inventory. So since it's not your wing, you don't paint it and put your decals on it.
That's what I was going to say. They're all alike.
Now the end plates, the vertical end plates, do belong to the teams. And you'll see those. They're still in their natural carbon fiber, but you'll see those decaled with sponsor information.
And you have a couple
Saturday.
of different configurations that you can do with those end plates that changes side force, down force things aerodynamically.
Well, and Larry, can't you adjust this part as well?
You can, Daryl. You can go from 0 to I think it's 16 degrees, but pretty much everybody is running max degrees on that wing.
Yeah, that looked like a lot more wing than I thought I saw in the cars at Bristol. Maybe not, but it sure looks like it's turned up quite a bit. And those end plates, Mike, they are very effective.
Yes, very much
They
so.
create a lot of side force.
Dale Jarrett has used 4 of the 6 champion provisionals that are allowed in the new rule this year. Now, he was given the past champion's position at Texas, but because qualifying was rained out there, he was not charged with a provisional for that start. He's the 1997 winner here and has qualified on time for the last 3 races, but he's got to go.
Yeah, he's headed towards using another provisional. And while Dale is completing his lap, and we're on the subject of the car tomorrow, the last time we saw the car tomorrow a few weeks ago at Martinsville, Virginia, remember the 29 car, Kevin Harvick in particular, had the fire inside the car from that energy absorbent foam. The car tomorrow is the teams. They did a test at Richmond a few days later. NASCAR worked with the teams. Remember, we've talked about how the exhaust system on the car tomorrow, they all go out the same area in front of the right rear tire, which is very close to where that energy absorbent foam is. So what NASCAR has done, they have allowed the teams to take out the bottom 10 inches of that foam to allow more airflow underneath there, and they can also put a heat shield in there. Now, the good news about the foam, we just saw Dale Jarrett. Look at the impact he took at Bristol. Look at the impact Bobby Labonte took at Martinsville. Scott Riggs also hit the ball very hard with the right side at Richmond. The foam did the job. They've just had to make some adjustments to make sure it doesn't catch on fire.
Yeah, and structurally, these cars are going to be tougher. I don't know about the bodies and the wings, but the chassis, the frame rails have been moved of back like they were in the old days, which means that there's a more substantial support out there when they do hit something.
This is Brandon Ash, 29-year-old from Umpqua, Oregon, a regular on the NASCAR West Series. He has one Cup start here. He started 40th for this race last year and also qualified for the race at Infineon in 04.
That's no good.
Nope, and that first lap of 28.66 is not going to get it.
And this second lap is pretty much dead. And just to put a period on Dale Jarrett, his lap ended up at 28.01. Looks like he may end up possibly using that 5th championship provisional with that 44 car.
Yeah, because there's no question this track it's going to pick up a 10th or 2 just in the conditions. When the sun continues to go down, it cools down, the track's going to get faster.
Brandon Ash picks up a 1/3 of a second, but he is still 8th of 8 in qualifying. Tony Raines, DLP HDTV Chevy, coming off a 13th place finish at Texas last week, his best finish of the year. He's competed here in all 3 of NASCAR's National Touring Series, Cup, Truck, and the Busch Series.
Yeah, I watched a little replay of the race, and I tell you, his car was handling good last weekend. I listened to him. He'd drive in the corner really hard, but man, he could pick the throttle up pretty quickly.
I tell you what, he picked the throttle up pretty quickly on that qualifying lap. Right now, he's going to be 2nd quickest. And you know that run that they had at Texas, that was another one of those R07 engines. So I think across the board, for the most part, Chevrolet pretty happy with the first outing with that R07. Now, no one's running them here. The next time we see them, I think, will be in some car tomorrow's at Richmond.
Okay, driver number 8 comes out on the track. Let's check quickly with Matt.
Mike, we talk about how Texas is big and everything that always happens there is big, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the confusion over getting in the 5 car. Now, this is actually his buddy that he talked about, Pidge, Rick Pigeon, who came and asked Jr. to get in the race car. We'll see if we can jump in here. Excuse me there, Rick. Talking a lot about the confusion and everything that happened in Texas. Kyle, what happened?
The biggest thing was, you know, when the crash had happened, I couldn't even hardly steer it back to the garage area. Got it back and couldn't turn into my own garage stall. So I went ahead and, you know, came over the radio, told everybody I think this, you know, loaded up, this thing's done. And didn't hear a, you know, confrontation from that. So I just figured they were just going to work on it, load it up. But, you know, I was in a great deal of discomfort. Felt like I got pretty much beat up from 2 pretty heavy crashes over the weekend. So I was changing my clothes. Nobody came in and discussed anything with me, so I just went back to my motorhome and loaded up and headed to the airport.
And that's it. And he's been first here before, and is Junior first on the clock, Mike?
That he is, 27.47 for the Bud Chevy.
That was on lap 1.
Second lap, same as the first.
Good job, Hot Rod. Running 47 on your first lap and a 50 on your second.
That tells the story.
Second lap, I got into 3. Sent too much speed to the center, couldn't get back down. A little tight in the middle, 3 and 4. Real good everywhere else. A little tight in into the center of 1, but center was real good in turn 1 and 2 compared to earlier today in practice.
And that tells the rest of the story.
And more than likely, it's the shade.
More grip.
Turns 1 and 2 is going to feel better than it did in practice.
But I believe this car will be pretty good on Sunday because they were actually pretty good at both of those previous car tomorrow races.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Dale Jr.'s never had a front row start here. He has twice started in row 2.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to win the pole here. I wouldn't mind starting second. That's where Harvick started last fall here and won the race. The pole is no one's won the race here from the pole. In 21 races, that car number right there, no one's ever won from the pole here.
Ken Schrader's got to go. He's on the go or go home list. Ward Burton is the fastest of those cars, 27.78. And right now Schrader's running at what looks like about a 90 or 95 pace.
Yep, 27.89. That puts him in front of 3 of the go or go homers, and he has 1 lap to go.
So he's second on the gotta go list. Schrader's won here 6 times in USAC, 4 times in NASCAR West, 5 times on the Southwest Tour.
I'd say he doesn't need a lot of practice here.
And he finished second here for Rick Hendrick in a Cup race in 1990.
This always been one of his favorite tracks.
Yep, he has 2 poles here, one for Hendrick and one for Andy Petrie.
He helped his cause there on lap 2, 27.77, so he now becomes the fastest of the go or go home cars.
It's a good time right there.
Coming up, Sterling Marlin, Brian Vickers, Greg Biffle, and Robbie Gordon. Sterling Marlin in the Waste Management Chevy, who won the pole here for Morgan McClure in 1994 and finished 3rd. He also has a 3rd place finish here for Junior Johnson. Now he's 31st in owner points, so he doesn't have to time into the field. He's in and solid 7th, 27.80.
He picked up about a 10th. Darrell was pointing out while we were at commercial break, he couldn't get his car down in the middle of the corner. Car really went up the racetrack.
But it kind of slid up there, and he was able to get back in the gas. It didn't scare him getting up there.
The fastest man in Phoenix is with Steve Burns.
Thank you, Mike. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale, what I'm curious about, we heard you debrief with your crew, but we've had 2 Car of Tomorrow races on a short track, half mile. This is the first one on a mile track. What is it like to drive the Car of Tomorrow here?
Well, the width of the car gives it more forward bite. The car's a little more stable. So the car drives, it's easier to drive. We're struggling again to get the car to turn in the middle, but you know, that's just going to come with time, with what these cars like and dislike. We had a pretty good lap there. A couple things I'd like to have done different, but pretty happy with the lap.
Thanks for your time.
Now, what he means by the car wider, he's actually not talking about the body. He's talking about the tread width. The tread width on this car tomorrow is an inch wider, and the whole inch was added to the left side. Why? To get that body side out further away from the driver.
Brian Vickers is the 2nd Red Bull Toyota driver to time. He has to time his way into the field, 27.95. And right now, that's looking close and maybe a little borderline.
Better lap here, or at least better turn 1. I don't know. We see how it fares here in 3. He got way up the track the last time. He got a little squirrely there, got in on the brakes and got the thing wobbling. That just carries all the way through the corner. You saw him fighting it getting off, but I think it's be a little bit better lap.
And you know, when this group qualifies, they race good once they get into the race, just like last week at Texas, finished 14th.
He comes in here 65 car owner points out of 35th and the safe zone. Right now he's still in the danger zone, but this lap of 27.88 will probably get him in.
I think it will. Well, you know, though, I don't know how much this cooling down is going to affect this racetrack. This track's like all others. Cooler it gets, faster it gets.
It's still going to be questionable.
But I'd say they got those Red Bull cars pretty equal. Vickers ran an 88, Allmendinger ran a 94.
Top of your screen, you see the crawl. The drivers in blue are those who need to qualify on speed, and when somebody locks in, we'll turn their color green. When they get locked out of the race, we'll turn them red, send them home. Greg Biffle for Roush Racing, the AmeriQuest Fusion. Wobbly bobbly off the corner. 2 wins and 1 pole here in the Busch Series. 1 outside pole. In the last 4 races here, Biffle has started no worse than 6th.
Well, you know, he and Doug Rickard were so good together for quite a while. It's going to take, I think, Greg a little time to get used to Pat Twice and the changes they made on that team.
That's a good first lap, though, 27.69. Of course, Doug Richard over there now with Brian Vickers at the Red Bull team. And, you know, we talked about this last week. Across the board, all of the teams. Now, I know David Reagan, the 6 car, crashed out early at Texas, but that's the best run the Roush cars have had across the board as a group last week.
Boy, Biffle went into turn 3 with the pole and comes to the line 4/100 slower than Dale Jr. So Greg Biffle coming off a 6th last week at Texas, right now in 2nd place. Welcome back to Phoenix, where Robbie Gordon is on track. He had his best start of the season last week in Texas, 23rd. And the Jim Beam 4 on its first lap, 9th quickest with an 88. Backs it up with an 80, so he is 9th, and Robbie is locked into the show.
You know, Mike, we talk about, you know, get a little off, get a little here and there. Most of the time you have trouble here with this shade in turn one. You're going to get through there faster than you probably have all day long. You're going to say, man, my car got through there great. What you have to be aware of as a driver is don't overdrive turn 3. You come out of turn 2 with so much more speed than you have all day that you carry it to your mark. That might be a little bit too far qualifying. You might want to back off a little earlier.
And one thing we talked about in the break is Kyle Busch comes out in the Kellogg's Chevy. The driver, we're conscious of the shade in 1 and 2 and the full sun still in turn 3. But that's not one of those things the driver's looking for.
Drivers qualify good. When you're on your game, you qualify with blinders on. All you see is straight ahead, and you're focusing on hitting your mark, running your line, being in the right place when you enter the turn, knowing when to pick the throttle back up. You see Kyle is not very good right there. That's loosey-goosey.
And he really smoked the left front tire getting into turn 1.
He has a pole here and a win here. Has 4 top 10s in 2007. All the other races he finished 24th or worse.
And even though he's not a big fan of this car tomorrow, the 2 races that we've run it, he smoked it again there, not quite as much. He had top 5 finishes at both the COT races at Bristol and Martinsville. Of course, 1 Bristol.
It's a better lap right here, much better.
You can just get to turn 3 and 4.
And you could tell it was, hear him hit the rev limiter getting into 3. Probably hadn't hit it all day long until he gets ready to qualify. And he drove it in.
Bobbled right there in the center, and that cost him just 2 or 3 positions, Darrell. Just ever so slightly.
So Kyle Busch ends up 5th for now at a 27.60.
He had his hands full.
Might have got a little piece of the rock there.
Yeah. Kissed it ever so slightly.
Coming up, David Reagan, John Andretti, and David Stremme. Snap, crackle, pop. David Reagan in the AAA Ford for Roush Racing. Going to get to run more laps today than he got to run last Sunday.
His race lasted 3/4 of a lap last week.
And he picked up about 3/4 of a second on lap 2. He goes to 7th quickest with the 6 car.
Well, Hot Rod's been fast.
Was an exceptional lap. He only has 1 race here, and that in the Truck Series. Good run for Reagan. He is 7th. Steve?
Good run for Greg Biffle as well, Mike. He said he just drove it into turn 3 a little bit too hard. But, you know, Greg, racetracks don't owe race car drivers anything. But, man, you were close here a year ago. You led 151 laps, but just didn't have quite enough gas.
Yeah, I just didn't. And I ran out of a little bit of rear tires there at the end. I was probably driving a little harder than I drive my car a little too loose sometimes, and that cost me at the end when Kyle beat me. But I love this racetrack. I love coming out here, and I'm going to have tears in my eyes if Junior's pole speed holds up. I gave it up down there. I know I had a good lap coming and made a mistake, but hopefully that gives a top 10 start spot here, or top 15. I don't know how this is going to cool off, but just really excited about this new car. I'm more optimistic about it than I was in the past, and can't wait for Richmond and here these races.
All right, thanks, Greg. Let's go to Matt.
3 Evernham cars, 1st, 20th, and 30th. After the way your season has gone so far, Ray, many people are thinking you'd look forward to Phoenix, which is a mile, and get a chance with this Avenger.
Yeah, it's been a little bit tough, you know. Actually, Sammy and I are still recovering over that comment you made this afternoon about us losing our hair and getting some sunscreen. But the truth of it, the last few weeks, it's not falling out, I'm pulling out. But yeah, we've been off. We know we've got some work to do on our other stuff. We're working real hard. It's not lack of work. We just made some wrong turns here and there. We've just got to get back after it. You know, this car should bring us something new. It puts us on a little bit more of a level playing field. Got a lot more about mechanical grip. I think we've got some decent things. The guys work together this afternoon. We'll see how it balances out.
Thanks, Ray.
Tell you what, John Andretti got a good second lap in there. That may put him in decent shape. He went from a 28.16 to a 27.80 on lap 2 with his 37 car. Made 1 race earlier in the year at Fontana, California.
Now that should have locked Ken Schrader into the race on time. With 7 drivers headed home, and on the Go Home list, Ward Burton is 2nd, John Andretti is 3rd.
But just how tight it is again, Mike. Ken Schrader's up there at a 77. Ward Burton's right behind him at a 78. Andretti just ran an 80.
Remember, Andretti won the pole for this race in 1999. As David Stremme, who certainly gets a nod on the most improved driver of 2007 list. Finished 10th last week at Texas. That was his best finish of the year. And he's 12th in the standings in the Coors Light Dodge. And look at the difference in his average finish and in his top 15s compared to anywhere you want to look last year.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, he's 12th in the points. Remember, it's the top 12 that make the chase. We're right at a third of the way right now, and we use the term what a difference a year makes. You saw some of the numbers there. He was 37th in points a year ago.
Spent most of the year on the outside looking in and having to qualify on time every week. This week he's in the show, but he could stand to pick it up. A 28.13 on the first lap and a 27.91.15.
Well, he's improved, but so is that team. The whole company has. Cars are better, engines are better.
Coming up, Ricky Rudd, Joe Nemechek, Paul Menard.
Hey, race fans, you grab the bud, I'll grab the trophy.
Ricky Rudd in the Snickers Ford. This weekend will tie Dave Marcus for second on the all-time list of starts in what is now the Nextel Cup Series. 883 races. He would have to race another 7 years to catch Richard Petty, number one in that department with 1,185. But Ricky won here in 1995, and right now he's 13.
Yeah, and you got to realize something. Ricky was one of those young kids back in the day. All of us guys were in our 20s, you know, when we all kind of got started. He was 18 years old when he ran his first Cup race. So it's not that he's so old. He just started when he was so young, unlike some of us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys he's racing against. They were not even thought about when he ran his first races.
First time Rudd came here, he started 4th, racing for Kenny Bernstein.
Oh, yeah. We were leading with 13 laps to go, lost the engine, and that's when Alan Kowicki got his very first win and created the Polish victory lap, the backwards victory lap.
That's right. Here is Joe Nemechek, Pinnacle, new sponsor on that car. Is that a golf resort? I believe.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Actually, I think it's golf equipment.
Oh, okay.
They make golf balls, or there's a Pinnacle golf ball. But you'd think the car would be all speckled up, dimpled up if it was that, wouldn't you?
Maybe by the end of Saturday night, that and several others will be.
Mine would have a big gash on it.
And DW wrote on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man signs his golf balls where he can find them when he loses them.
We're playing a Larry Max tournament. The guys I'm playing with, what are all these balls with DW written on them? I said, oh, I know who those are.
Now look, fairways go down and they come back, right?
Right.
So I might be able to use that on the way back.
Talking about there, buddy.
Oh, by the way, front row Joe is position 2. Great run. Won't make up for missing Bristol earlier this season. First DNQ in, 5 years? But that's a great lap.
Yeah, I mean, he had actually been good through the entire practice earlier today, and he backed it up there.
Need a little more shade.
A little more shade.
Saturday, you're not ready for the drop of the green flag until you've seen NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. As the car of tomorrow races under the lights for the first time at Phoenix, you won't want to miss NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday, 6 Eastern, live on Speed. Matt?
Mike, last year Kevin Harvick swept both Nextel Cup races right here at PIR, and they unveiled 2 huge banners on the backside of the grandstand in their Champions Row to help celebrate his wins from last year. Could you pick a better place, Cage, to get this team back on track than all of your success you've had here?
I don't think so. Phoenix has been very good to us, but we haven't had the greatest of luck in our Shell Pennzoil luck the last few weeks. Last week we didn't run that well, but every other week we've run well and just something's happened. So couldn't think of a better place to come. We've run a lot of races here. We've won a lot of races here, and just really enjoy getting on the track. So this COT stuff, though, I mean, you miss it a little bit, and you can lose a couple tenths pretty easy. So it's a lot easier to lose time than it is to gain it. So we'll see what happens.
He was 10th fastest in practice, Mike.
I tell you what, Paul Menard, Matt, just ran a 27.76 on lap 1. That will lock him into the show. He missed the other 2 car tomorrow races, but had a great run in Texas, and I think he tried for a little bit more on lap 2, but it didn't work out. But he will race Saturday night.
Now, I like this. If you have to time your way into the show, there's nothing like timing fast enough to lock yourself in and not have to depend on somebody else's good or misfortune.
I like what I'm seeing out of these DEI cars, Larry. Junior's car really, really good. Here's Menard sitting there 9th now. Looking pretty good.
And Martin Truex Jr., the 3rd DEI car, was awfully quick in practice.
So Paul Menard is in. Brandon Ash has been bumped. And Elliott Sadler is our next qualifier. We've got about 11 cars before we have our next go or go homer. So here's the Evernham UAW Dodge Dealers Dodge with just a slight bobble leaving turn 2.
See that a lot on the first lap. Seems like I think the pressures are a little bit low for the first lap, and then these guys really turn it on the second. Cars move around quite a bit on that first lap. That's just, I think, a product of low air.
Sadler has 3 top 3 starts this year, including Bristol, the first race with the COT.
That was an awfully good first lap by Elliott Sadler. 27:52, as you heard mentioned earlier. He was 30th quickest in practice, and he's picked up significantly for what he ran in practice.
And that's 5th fastest on lap 1. And
he quit on it. He might go quit on this one. It went up the hill, and he just kind of gave up on it.
Tried for a little bit more, and it didn't work out.
So up next, Johnny Sauter, Reed Sorensen, and Jamie McMurray. Right now, it's Earnhardt and Nemechek on the front row. Johnny Sauter in the Haas Automation Chevrolet. Got a little aggressive on the first lap, and he's locked into the show and timed in at 28.64, but where he had the problem off turn 4, that'll likely hurt both qualifying laps. He does get under 28 seconds, just barely. He's 21st.
Yeah, that killed his second lap because he just couldn't get back to the throttle off turn 4. But Johnny's that guy that's sitting there on the bubble right now, 35th in owner points, and only has a 36-point cushion over that 21 car of Ken Schrader.
So he will start Sunday, but he will also need a good finish. Sauter failed to make the show at Bristol. Steve?
Mike with Joe Nemechek, and Joe, we heard you on the radio say it just needed a little bit more shade.
Yeah, it's, you know, time of day. It's just tough going because the corner gets a little more shaded down to 1 and 2, and the more shade you have, the harder you can charge, the harder you can get off that corner. But I got to say thank you to my whole crew, getting Pinnacle on board this week. Our whole Ginn Motorsports operation is getting better and better. From the 01 with Mark helping us, Regan Smith, Sterling, and myself, all the teams are getting better, especially the car tomorrow. You know, we missed Bristol. We ran better at Martinsville, and we had a great Richmond test, and I think it's all showing here that we know what we're doing.
Sounds like momentum to me, Joe.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mike?
Thanks, Steve. Reed Sorensen back in the target car.
Good looking lap. Didn't seem
Chip
like it was
Ganassi and Felix Sabates. It's an 84, 16th fastest.
Car looks like it's handling good. He's real smooth. He's not juking around or anything.
It's almost exactly what he ran in practice earlier today.
I love it when they get on the rev limiter because I guarantee you he didn't know it was going to do that. But that's how much faster he's going into turn 3 than what he had been in practice.
You know, another good thing about that rev limiter, you talked about it earlier, Darrell, overdriving turn 3, that rev limiter is kind of a telltale is, hey, I need to start rolling out of this thing.
It's a warning device.
You better believe it.
And the warning is you need to let off.
He picks it up about 2/10 though.
The warning device we heard last Friday was the tornado siren about the time we were supposed to qualify. But good lap for Reed, 8th place.
Had a good car in Texas. We were talking about the Ganassi and Sabates' cars earlier. All of them were good, and Reed unfortunately had an engine failure and had a DNF.
Jamie McMurray had his best finish of the season last week, 5th at Texas. He has finished 15th or better the last 5 races and made a big climb from 36th after California to 10th in points right now.
I think he had a 5.5 last Sunday because he only beat Greg Biffle to the line by about a half an inch. They were coming off turn 4 and they were slicing and dicing.
Look at this lap.
Sounded pretty good. He had to work the throttle a little bit there in the middle of the corner.
He was 9th quickest in practice. 27:36, and that's lap 1.
What in the world?
Tell you, this crowd right here is just they're on it right now, Larry.
Might have got against the wall there, Darrell.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
He just got close. You get close. Get real close off 2 over there. Looks like you hit it every time you come out there. You think you're going to hit it, matter of fact.
He had to play with that throttle quite a bit off turn 4. Let's see what he does here. How about 27.15? He picks up 2/10. Right now, he's on the pole by 3/10 of a second.
You would call that a Crown Royal moment.
I'd say so.
But I think that's what
really
this.
Good.
I would say so.
I think that's what this car tomorrow can do, though. You get it right, you're going to stink up the show, as I like to say.
I would say so.
Welcome back to Phoenix. All the DEI cars were in the top dozen as Martin Truex drops Paul Menard to 13th with this lap that is 8th fastest. And look at lap 2. Business is picking up.
I just think a lot of that's in the racetrack. I know these guys are all running well, but I think a lot of this has to do with the conditions.
27.34. He beats his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. by over a 10th. He goes to second quickest.
I think I'd be real happy if I was going out about, 48th.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
I think I'd be real.
Let me guess who's 48. MW.
I'd be real happy about that.
Okay, Pinnacle does make golf equipment and golf balls, and those are used at a lot of the golf courses in the Ginn Resorts family. But the Pinnacle is a condominium complex in Las Vegas being developed, I believe, by Bobby Ginn.
Okay.
So there.
And now you know the rest of the story.
And thanks for the call. We wanted to correct it. Kevin Harvick in the Pennzoil Chevy, as Darrell pointed out earlier, he has 2 victories here.
Man.
In Nextel Cup.
This race last year, he led 10 laps. Remember, Larry, he'd come from nowhere.
Nowhere, absolutely. But, Matt talked to him, and to go with those 2 wins in 2006, he won and finished second in the 2 Busch races here last year.
Yeah, he had.
So no wonder they hung a banner up on the back of the grandstands. 27.50, that puts him 5th quickest with lap 1 there.
A little bit loose there off turn 2. Turn 3 is the telltale corner. Watch him. He's more likely to get down on. In the race, you watch him. He'll be on the apron getting in there.
Tickled the rev limiter getting into 3.
Yeah.
And he had to play with that throttle a little bit off turn 4.
Looked good off 4, though. He looked pretty smooth off there.
27.34. That puts him 3rd quickest.
Here's Matt.
Casey Kane's practice time was 3/10 off of the current pole time, but that was in the heat of the day. Casey, what number do you expect out of this 9 car coming up here in a few moments?
I hope it's a good one. This Dodge Avenger was quick in qualifying practice and made a couple small adjustments. Guys are working hard. We're trying to figure this out. We've been struggling a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can run a 30 or somewhere in there and see what we get. And I've been drinking lots of vitamin water all week long. We did some things with vitamin water, so this should be hopefully be a good weekend for us.
Best start out here at PIR, and a Nextel Cup car is 4th. He was fastest in practice. Steve?
Matt, Jamie McMurray just got out of his car and said, outstanding. Did you get everything you could out of it, Jamie?
Yeah, it drove really good. Crown Royal for Fusion. We didn't unload very good today, but Larry Carter, Derek Stamets, those guys have just done a great job, and it's been so much fun this year. I did all this media earlier today, and everyone keeps wanting to know what the difference is, and I don't know. It's not just one thing, just really good cars, and that was a good lap. When I got ready to go out, we made a couple of adjustments, and I was like, look, the sun's going down. I'm like, let's man up and drive this thing, and I thought a 30 would have been great, so I don't know exactly what I ran, but that'll be a good lap today.
Man up. I like that. Hey, see you on trackside tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey, all right. Things are picking up, guys. He just said it. I hadn't heard it in months.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, he ran a 15.
That's cool.
That's a good lap.
Now, Kurt Busch just ran a faster first lap than McMurray ran, but I just don't know if he's going to get up there. He actually slowed down a little bit, but he's going to be second quickest.
Yeah, he was
with
sawing on her. He was sawing on her just a little too much. Sawing a little too much wood.
Second lap, same as the first, and Kurt Busch is second quickest to Jamie McMurray. Coming up, Jeff Green, Casey Mears. Jeff Green in the Best Buy Garmin navigation number 66. It's going to be fastest.
What a pickup.
Wow, half a second he picked up over his first lap.
Yeah, he was in trouble after lap 1, but boy, he stepped up to the plate on lap 2.
He could be a surprise come Saturday night. Finished 6th at Bristol in the first car of tomorrow race. Matt?
And Tony Stewart climbing into his race car. Smoke, a number of different frustrations from last weekend, though, but what was the thing that bothered you the most?
Man, I don't know. It went from kind of a weird day to bad to worse to worse. So I don't know. I think probably the worst part of it was, you know, spinning out in front of the guys running in the top 5 and Junior and Kyle Busch, you know, creating those guys a bad day. But, you know, I had to try to get my lap back. I mean, I was already 1 lap down from having to pit, and I'm right there behind Kurt Busch. So, you know, it was just something weird. I mean, our car was absolutely dialed Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday it was a handful. So that's just a day that we want to forget.
And then your comments you made about retirement, I know that was the heat of the battle, too.
Well, I wasn't talking about retiring now. I was talking about maybe at the end of my contract, but that's still another 2.5 years away. And you know, I like doing what I do. It just you know, if we can get NASCAR to make it fun again instead of making it work all day long, we'd be all right.
He's got a few things, Mike Joy, that he still wants to put on his racing resume, like a Daytona 500 victory.
Well, it's nice to see him back at the track with a smile on his face, Matt. And I'll tell you, that spin he had, you saw Junior Nation get all upset, but Tony didn't wreck Dale Jr.
No.
Tony spun. It created an issue, but spun that car, grabbed a gear, got right going and out of the way. That all happened behind him.
But what he said was exactly right. He had on fresh tires, and he saw an opportunity to make one of those laps up right there, and he was going to try to take advantage. But, Darrell, I can't help but think about what he just said there, because you talked to him under the pace laps. You could hear confidence in his voice about what he had in that race car from practice.
Same car they dominated the race with there in the fall. They had 250 of the 300 and some laps down there, so why wouldn't you be confident? So I'm sure the weather caught those guys out. That's what happened.
Nice run for Casey Mears and the National Guard Chevy of Rick Hendrick. He is 5th with a 27.47. Steve?
Mike, we were just commiserating with Kurt Busch about the awful luck last week at Texas. You had a shot to win, and the caution flag came out. But at the end of the day, do you racers hang your hat on the fact of how well you perform, much like your qualifying effort?
You do and you don't. I mean, it's been a while since we drove the Miller Lite Dodge to victory lane, but to have that good of a run on a 1.5 miles, yeah, we had been struggling there. And so that's good to be able to run that strong. And if we'd have won the race, we could use that $500,000 to spend on fuel mileage. we had to pit, and the yellow popped out. And like today, the guys gave me a great car, and if I'd have known it was going to run that fast, I'd have done a better job. I mean, I'm surprised. So I think it's all just beginning to flow, you know, that momentum thing that everybody talks about. But yet, we're just out here doing the job we need to do and get this Avenger as fast as we can.
Thank you, Kurt.
Another guy is good to see with a smile on his face. In a strange turn of events in public relations, he is now a deputy sheriff in the county here. Honorary deputy sheriff.
Honorary, okay. But just to make sure we clear up what Kurt just said about fuel mileage, he was forced to pit because he didn't pit when everyone else pitted under caution. So he ran just as many laps as everybody else had run, but because he hadn't pitted under caution, he had to come to pit road under green.
Casey Kane with a lap that looks more like last year than this year has so far. This year only one finish better than 20th. That was Daytona. His first lap 14th. This could be a top 5 lap here.
He was the fastest car in practice at a 27.53. It's not going to be pole material, but he's going to be able to see the green flag when it's waved this week at a 27.36 right now, 5th quickest.
Darrell, hard to believe one driver can win the most races one season and struggle so badly the next.
She's a fickle lady, that racing lady is.
Dave Blaney in the Caterpillar Camry has fallen out of the top 35 in owner points. He's 38, so he's got a time in, and he's in. First lap is 14th quickest. Second lap is much better. He's the fastest of the drivers who must make it on time. He will race Saturday night. He's 6th fastest.
I think maybe his crew chief doesn't get enough recognition, Larry, because, you know, he came over from Childress, Hamlin did, and I think he's added a lot to Dave's confidence and this program.
Kevin Hamlin, who I worked with at Childress for 4 years, he and Dave, they have personalities a lot alike. They're very low key. They're not out there, you know, looking for their naming lights. They're just good, down-to-earth racers. But he by far becomes the fastest of the go-or-go homers. So he and Paul Menard will race Saturday night. do need to make note, Mike Bliss and Brandon Ash will go to the house.
Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's Chevrolet got crashed out last week at Texas, finished 38th. He has 1 front row start here and 2 second place finishes.
Jimmy J.
This car actually bottoming out just a little bit down there in turn 1 and 2.
Got her down on the ground, and I tell you, she looks like she's hunting too.
He was 5th quickest in practice earlier today at a 27.61.
Gets in there pretty nice, out of the throttle quite a bit, but sounds like he's going to really get back in it when he does, and it's coming up nice and straight off the corner.
First lap's going to be in the 40s, I believe.
Wow.
No, 27.29, and that's lap 1.
This old girl here looks pretty good.
And he's not wrestling the wheel
he's
like
smooth.
A lot of drivers.
And the left front's down. That's something I haven't seen on many of these cars. That left front is sucked down. See that splitter down there? She's right against the earth.
Just depends on how well he can get through turn 3 and 4, which actually I think was his strong point on lap 1. It's going to be close.
Not quite.
27.21.
Second fastest by 6/100ths.
Now that makes me believe his old teammate who sat on the pole here last year, fall race I think it was, could be pretty steamy.
Is that Big Daddy?
Big Daddy is on the prowl.
Where'd you come up with that name?
Well, he's going to be a daddy.
We're talking about Jeff
right.
Gordon.
And Jeff Gordon, and he was chasing down. I mean, he had the car to beat.
I just wonder, because wasn't that an Adam Sandler movie?
I don't know. It probably
I was so much faster than I've been any other time. I guess if I win again, I could try harder, but that was
good, Jimmy. Second fastest to Jamie McMurray.
I have told those drivers time and time again, don't say things like that.
Tony Stewart has 10 starts here and 1 big finish. His first race here, 1999. Smoke started 11th. Went to victory lane.
I can't.
He also won the pole here in '97 in the Indy Racing League.
I can't imagine these two cars. He and his teammate won't be pretty steamy too, based on the way they ran at Bristol and Martinsville.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about Ken Schrader, the laps he has around this place. I mean, Tony has raced here in USAC Midgets, USAC Silver Crown, IndyCar, Super Modified, Busch Series, and obviously a Nextel Cup car.
It just backs up what I said in the opening. This is a fun track to race on. You have a lot of fun when you race here. It's very challenging, but a lot of fun to race on.
Stewart has 4 USAC wins here, and he was the runner-up in both IRL races, 97 and 98.
He was down in there digging. Did you see Larry come off turn 4? He had that head down.
Sure did.
He was digging.
And he definitely was doing some serious digging on lap 2 because he picked it up to 6th quickest with this 20 car.
Stevie B with Jimmy J.
Jimmy J.
Thank you, Mikey J. Jimmy Johnson, how good was that qualifying effort?
That was really strong. I mean, when you practice at run a 61 and you go out and run a 20, 410s, it's much faster. It did everything I wanted it to. Just a strong effort. I thought it was good enough for the pole, but Jamie put up one heck of a lap.
You guys have finished second here. What'll it take to win this race?
It's a whole new environment right now with the car of tomorrow. I feel that we're off to a great start. We're really strong in practice and qualifying trim as well. So I think we've got a good package, and hopefully we can get this Hendrick car to victory lane. Hendrick doesn't win here that often, and Lowe's and all the support they've given me. I'd love to win out here on the West Coast for him.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Juan Pablo Montoya in the Haviland Dodge. Got a second career top 10 finish last week, finishing 8th in Texas. He started 11th in the Busch Series here in November, finished 20th.
And, his radio transmission after he and Tony were having their little run-in last weekend was, what happened to the give and take? And what he was saying was, I give. The other guy's supposed to give. It's supposed to be a give and take. And he felt like Tony wasn't giving him enough. He was taking more than he was giving.
I wonder, Darrell, Tony said he was trying to get his lap back from Kurt Busch at the time. And no, that was the second time around when Tony spun.
Yeah.
The first time, Montoya was a lead lap car, and
they were racing for position.
He deserved some
They were racing for position.
Right.
One guy down under him going into 3, and he carried it in the corner a little harder than he probably should have.
Right.
Washed up into Tony, made some contact.
Well, and Juan said, he said, I tried something different going into the corner.
Yeah.
And even though he picked it up on lap 2, I think that's what hurt his qualifying run here. He's just driving it off in the corner so deep, it just can't come out the other end. And, you know, you talked about him finishing in the top 10 at Texas last week, Mike. Who would have believed 7 races into 2007? This is the only Dodge driver that has a top 5 finish. He finished 5th at Atlanta.
And the one significant thing to this run here, I don't think Juan Pablo has ever driven a race car with this little aerodynamic downforce. The car tomorrow totally unlike the cars he's been driving here or anywhere else.
And the brakes on a Formula One car are amazing. I mean, they guys talk more about the braking power of a Formula One than they do the acceleration of a Formula One car. And if you're anticipating that to be the case, because these things don't blow up that great.
Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevy. He has 3 third-place finishes here and 2 poles. And we all know this is one of the 3 tracks where he has not won.
Did win a Busch race here, but has not won a Cup race. And right now, his first lap, 27.55. This group, they've just been on their mark so well this year on qualifying. They have the 2 Bud poles, but they also have 5 top 5 starts this year in 2007. And he's looking like he's working on number 6 here on lap 2.
I think he'll do it. I'm telling you, he's fast here, man.
20. I got 3 and 4. I don't know how good I got their 1-2 though.
Well, it was good enough.
Baby, 27.04. Pole. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
I'd go along with that.
Beats Jamie McMurray by a full 1/10 of a second.
Now, in contrast to Jimmy Johnson's car, Jeff's car had a lot of travel in the left front. The car really dropped going in the corner, and he started to hike that skirt up in the front just a little bit on exit.
Yeah, Jimmy's car looked perfect. I like the way it looked, scraping the ground with that left front.
I was okay at 1-2, but it was all 3 and 4.
Sorry, I should have said hike the splitter coming up off turn 4.
It's not unusual to see that 24 car with the nose up just a teeny bit more than a 48. They seem to run it. It's just the difference in their shock package, I would say. When you see the car kind of rock like that up in the front when it gets to the corner, falls over, it's just a little bit different shock combination.
Carl Edwards will be the 38th driver to take time.
Whoa, Carl. He hung her out right there in the middle of the corner
and off the corner.
He's got his hands full with this baby.
Carl's raced here 5 times. He's got 4 top 7 finishes. Last 4 races in a row.
Oh, now she's coming to him. That's a much better turn 1.
And he started no worse than 12th in his last 4 outings here.
But, you know, going back to Jeff Gordon, I had a conversation with Steve Letarte, his crew chief, and actually had a conversation with Chad Knaus, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief. And one of the things they're fighting with this car tomorrow is too much of a push, the car not turning. And like Chad and Steve both told me, said Jeff likes a much tighter race car than Jimmy Johnson likes. Jimmy does not like a car that will not turn, which no driver does, but Jeff just likes a little more tug on that steering wheel.
Carl Edwards 20th fastest right now as Jeff Gordon debriefs. Jeremy Mayfield, David Rudiman next. Jeremy Mayfield, the 360 OTC Toyota, has got to pick it up to get in the show. He's at 28.07 right now. That is a going home time, and Jeremy's got to go.
I think he'll be a little bit better. I don't know if it's enough or not.
27.78. That puts him right now 27th quickest, and right behind Ward Burton.
That will lock Ken Schrader into the race. It will send A.J. Allmendinger home. Steve?
We heard one awesome over the radio. He got out of the car and said awesome again. So how awesome is the race car, Jeff Gordon?
Well, obviously, you pick up that much from practice. We made a lot of adjustments there at the end of practice. You know, guys are picking up. We just weren't picking up. We drew a great number today, and all I was worried about was the sun. But I had no idea we were going to run that kind of lap. So proud of Steve Letarte, all the guys at DuPont Chevrolet. You know, I drove down into 1 on the second lap. I gave up the first lap, and the second lap I drove down in there, and it got tight, and I wasn't sure if it was going to turn, and it did. But I made up all my time in 3 and 4. The car just flew through 3 and 4. Like I've never been around this place. So we had the right setup in it for qualifying.
In other words, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
All right, let's go to Matt.
Steve, one Gibbs car down, 2 more to go, and J.J. Yaley, more pressure or less pressure because this is a home game for you?
There's no pressure. Crew chief just radioed in and said, the pole's out there, go ahead and get it, but don't do anything crazy, whatever that's supposed to mean. But I want to say hi to Karen. She had surgery today back in Indianapolis. Hope you're doing well, and the family's back with them. But the Interstate Batteries car was really good in practice. Overdrove it pretty much every run in qualifying. So if it has enough grip, I'll be fine.
And Mike, it's hard to believe, but Sunday will be JJ's 50th Nextel Cup Series start.
Getting to be a veteran.
Yes, sir.
Boy, he had a tough week last week.
Trust me, it goes by fast.
Yeah. David Rudiman has 3 truck starts here, and he's going to get a cup start Saturday night. He's 21st fastest in the Domino's Pizza car. He is in the show. Picks it up to 19th fastest. And that run will send Brian Vickers home. So both of the Red Bull Toyotas will fail to qualify. And Dale Jarrett will have to use the Champions Provisional to put the UPS Toyota in the show.
And the 3 go-or-go homers that we have left to go late in this session. Kenny Wallace, Michael Waltrip, and Scott Riggs. So right now, Ward Burton, Jeremy Mayfield, John Andretti will be watching their runs very closely.
Those above the line have already run. And of those, Blaney, Rudiman, Menard, and Schrader are locked into the race.
I mean, Mike, that shade has now moved all the way to almost the start-finish line here on the front straightaway, and pretty far off of turn 2 over there. So the track conditions are at a premium right now.
Yeah, late exit turn 4 is even shaded.
It's starting to get a little shade on it, so conditions are ideal for a fast lap.
Denny Hamlin in the FedEx number 11 got his first career pole right here.
Yep.
November 2005. It was only his 6th career Nextel Cup start. Right now he's 5th in points.
Old piece looks pretty good, Larry.
Pretty solid with this 11 car. I would say so. First lap, 27.54.
That looked better than that. I'm surprised. I thought it was faster than that.
The Martinsville pole winner through the dog leg in the back straightaway.
But regardless of where he qualifies, this has definitely been the type of racetrack that he has been so strong on ever since making his first few starts there at the end of 2005.
Well, car just looks like it's digging, you know.
I'd say she's digging pretty good. 27.15. He's 3rd quickest.
Yeah,
just 2 1,000ths behind McMurray.
I couldn't believe it wasn't faster than that first lap.
Jeff Gordon, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, the fastest 3. Coming up, Gilliland, Labonte, and Mark Martin. All right, so you watch NASCAR race day. You've seen Kenny and Jimmy and all their antics. Think you can do better? Send us your best impressions, and you might see yourself on race day. It's all part of My Race Day. Log on to speedtv.com for more info.
Sounds like an interesting situation.
Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, David Gilliland, who made his first Busch Series start right here in 2005, has 1 cup start here for Robert Yates. Started 13th and finished 16th last fall.
He was just nice and solid at Texas last week. Got a top 20 finish, but you could see him really wrestling that steering wheel through the middle of turn 3 and 4. First lap, 23rd quickest at a 27.68.
And Larry, when they won't turn, then that's what you saw his hands doing. That's what you got to do. You got to juke that steering wheel.
And you heard him say right there, and I think it was maybe doing both things.
Second lap coming off at 2.
David, was there anything you liked about the car? Come back. Give me a pack of M&Ms and take her on in the garage.
Gilliland may be the only driver in the field whose father has raced on this track. His dad, Butch, was a West Series champion. Not sure if J.J. Yaley's dad, Cactus Jack, ever raced here. I know he raced at Manzanita, a couple of miles the other side of town on the dirt track.
Well, a different situation. We know Kyle's dad raced here.
Oh, shoot. Larry, you keep messing up my stories with your facts. I love you, man. I mean it.
Don't never let a fact get in the way of a good story.
Yeah,
right?
Kyle's father ran here. Who else am I missing?
In fact, the man that owns this car right here, and it would have been with this number right here. Timing is everything.
I'm so humbled. Bobby Labonte racing for King Richard Petty, who did race here through 1992, his final season in what was then Winston Cup. Bobby won the pole here in 1996. He's got 4 top 10 finishes in his last 5 races here. 3 for Joe Gibbs, 1 for the Petties.
Going to end up 21st quickest at a 27.61. Now, the King never went to victory lane here, but this number did go to victory lane here with the late Bobby Hamilton driving the 43 car.
And I think sat on the pole here with John Andretti.
Yes, it
43.
did.
And Robbie Loomis was a crew chief, and they had pretty good success.
And did you know Richard's son's in the race on Sunday?
Really? What's his name?
Yeah, his name's Kyle.
Kyle. Oh, I think I knew that.
I think
last name
too.
Petty.
He's driving number 44, doesn't he?
Used to.
Used to could. All right, there are 2 drivers, at least 2 drivers, making their first start of the season in the car of tomorrow. Brandon Ash is one, and Mark Martin is another. He did not race at Bristol or Martinsville. You know, the Army team, they have won the Checkers Rally's Drive-Through Pit Crew Championship every race that Mark has driven this car this year except one. And that's incredible for one team to dominate that competition, but they won it again at Texas.
And I mean, what's amazing is Mark has run 2 less races than most everybody, and right now he's sitting 11th in the points. Bobby Ginn, the owner of this car, right now sitting 4th in owner points.
It's amazing how when a driver is up and he's the cheerleader of the team, how it elevates the whole team. It reminds me of when you play golf. Play golf with people that are really good. It seems like you always play just a little bit better. Well, that's the way a driver affects his race team. He elevates those people.
I don't know, Larry and I went down to Miami to play in that Wham Drive for the Wives against the Champions Tour, the PGA Seniors Tour, the Champions Tour. We got out on the first tee. We forgot how to golf.
Your theory didn't work.
Man.
Well,
right, left, everywhere.
You know, you got to have talent somewhere. Some talent has something to do with all that.
But by the back 9, we were getting much better.
Yeah.
Mark Martin is 17. Coming up, J.J. Yaley and Kenny Wallace.
I shot an 81. You want to know the shot on the other 9?
Yeah. J.J. Yaley.
Well, the pole's out there. Go on out there and get it. You know what he said?
That's what he said his crew chief told him, Steve Addington.
I always love when they walk up to you and you're about a second off and they put their arm around your neck and say, you can do it.
J.J. grew up here in Phoenix. His dad, great sprint car driver, Jack Yaley. J.J. grew up on Manzanita, the dirt 3/4 mile, and up at Canyon Raceway up in Peoria. And here he is, timing in 26th on the first lap in the Interstate Battery Chevy.
He has 4 names, but I don't only know the last name. I don't know the other 3. I heard him talking about it the other day.
Christopher something.
Remember, he's going to be on our trackside show, so make a note to ask him.
I'm going to ask him.
The first J is for his dad, Jack, and the second one's for his Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah.
But neither of his given names start with J.
Which kind of fits right in with our crowd.
Now I've confused the story with facts.
It just seems like that fits right in with what we do.
Yeah, it's a car tomorrow thing. JJ, car 18 is position 19. Steve?
Mike, at the top of the show, Matt Yoakum showed everyone the Virginia Tech decal that all the cars will have here for the next 3 weeks. Denny Hamlin, a Virginia native, and Denny Sr. Hokie hat kind of puts things in perspective given what happened down in Blacksburg later this week.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends that went there and are still going there, and you know, luckily everyone's safe. But it was a terrible accident, and you know, it's just we got to move on. You know, we're here at the racetrack doing things as if nothing happened, but we all know deep in our hearts that you know, the tragedy that happened. So they're still in our thoughts.
All right, well said. Thank you, Denny.
Thanks, Steve. It's a sad week to go out and play a game or play a sport with what's happened in Virginia. Kenny Wallace, Furniture Row Racing, and he's got to go.
He's got to pick it up.
He has to beat a 27.80 to make the show. That's where that green line is, right there.
He's got a
Kenny's on the
chance.
tracker.
With that 97, he's got a chance to possibly do it. Everybody, a lot of cars have picked up considerably on their second lap. Let's see if he can. What did Jamie McMurray say? Man up. Man up and do it.
And that's what Kenny Wallace has got to do. Right now, he's actually looking in pretty good shape with this 78 car. I think he will man up and do it. 27.64, he will race Saturday night. And that will send...
That's a 27.64. Good job.
That will send...
man. I drove my heart out, boys. That's all I had.
That's all he needed.
I'm proud of you, man.
And then some.
Now, that's what the driver's supposed to say.
That will send John Andretti home, and it will move Jeremy Mayfield onto the bubble.
And if you could tell, he was actually out of breath a little bit.
Yeah, you hold your breath for 30-odd seconds. Actually, he's been practicing that all day, holding his breath.
4 cars to go, 2 of them locked into the field, Matt Kenseth and Clint Boyer, and 2 of them that have to make it on time, Michael Waltrip and Scott Riggs. Here is Kenseth in the DeWalt Ford for Jack Roush, or should I say Roush Fenway Racing. Since Daytona, Matt does not have a finish below 11, and he's 3rd in the Nextel Cup standings. Led right up to the last lap last week in Texas, and won here in 2002.
Yeah, he's the only driver team besides a Chevrolet to win a race this year in 2007.
It's been a good track for Ford. I think they got like 12 victories out of the 21 here, so that's a good racetrack for the Ford guys.
A decent first lap, yeah, 67.
And you know the difference in him and a lot of guys? He can run that all day long. It's not always that he gets that much better. It's that other people's kind of slow down and back up to him.
And he's really getting through turn 3 and 4 good. You can see him bobble a little bit there through turn 4, kind of slides off, but he's going to end up picking up quite a bit here, 27.49.
That finding the wheel that we see, that's when the car rotates. It's basically, you ever watch a pilot take a plane off, they kind of work the pedals and get the thing to kind of roll around and so they can get up in the air. Well, that's kind of what a race car feels like. You got to get it to rotate right there.
15th for Kenseth. He is the 2nd fastest Ford in the field.
See, watch him down in there. And this is just where you're trying to get the car to go back the other way. Okay, I'm in the corner. I need some help here. Come on, baby. Turn for me. Turn. And finally, you jerk on it enough, it'll turn.
Get it to bite where you can put that throttle down.
Michael Waltrip in the Napa Toyota. Started 15th, finished 30th at Daytona, trying to make just his 2nd race of 2007. Here at Phoenix, he has 2 11th place starts and 1 runner-up finish. That came in this race two years ago.
Yeah, you know, I thought he was going to win this race a couple years ago in the 15 car for DEI. I mean, he led, and Kurt Busch chased him down, I think. Passed him late in the race.
But he ran a line different from anybody that we were watching that night. He kind of moved the car way up the racetrack.
28.14. Michael needs to run a 27.77 to bump Jeremy Mayfield. So he'll need to find about 0.4 of a second.
Gosh, the car it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's fairly decent looking, a little wobbly right there, but he just must not be able to get back to the gas quick enough.
He was flirting with it through the middle of turn 3 and 4. I mean, it's going to be right there on top of it. 27.79. He will not race. That will put Ward Burton in the show. With right now Jeremy Mayfield.
Golly, 7.89 to a 7.96.
1/100th of a second. Mayfield right now is in, and Waltrip is out, and it may be a moot point if Scott Riggs runs quicker than both of them.
And Scott Riggs should be going out next, and he was 20th quickest in practice earlier today with his 10 car.
The Valvoline Dodge is 43 points out of the top 35 in the owner standings. Qualified 8th at Bristol and finished 8th at Martinsville, his best race of 2007.
This dude right here, he'll qualify good, I guarantee you.
Right now, the other Evernham cars qualified exactly on their number. Casey Kane, number 9, 9th place. Elliott Sadler, number 19, 19th place.
I'd say Scott Riggs would be happy to keep that pattern going.
I would say 10th would look really good.
He's just a really good qualifier, and I mean, he's a great little driver. He just gets himself in situations sometimes to get him in trouble. But other than that, I'm a big fan. I've always liked Scotty.
For lap He's got to run a 77 to make the show.
Oh, he's in good shape.
Whoa, 10th. Car 10 is 10th. Larry, you hit it right on the nose.
But I think he's working on improving that, it looks like here.
I tell you, he can get it done.
You could have put long odds on that happening.
That's exactly right, but I don't think he's going to stay there.
No.
If he can get through turn 3 and 4.
This looks better, and the whole track's almost in shade now. You got to go fast now.
He's
That's
going to
be right up there, buddy.
Whammo, 4th place.
Right up there.
27-20.
Becomes the fastest Dodge, 4th quickest. So that will send Jeremy Mayfield in the 36 car to the house.
So the 7 drivers who are headed home: Mayfield, Michael Waltrip, John Andretti, Brian Vickers, and A.J. Allmendinger, both the Red Bull cars, Mike Bliss, and Brandon Ash from the West Coast.
Yeah, we're actually going to only have 3 Toyotas in the show. Dave Blaney, David Ruderman, and Dale Jarrett, who used another championship provision.
And only has one of those bullets left after this weekend.
Now, was it last year in the Busch race here when Clint had a really, really good race car, was going to win the race, and
need to flip that around. Jason Leffler had a really good race car. Clint Boyer got into Jason Leffler.
I knew it was something like that.
You knew he was involved, right?
Yeah, I knew there was something with him. I couldn't remember if it's good or bad. He's improved a lot since last year, though.
Yes, he has, in a lot of ways.
The DirecTV Chevy for Clint Boyer, whose first career start came here 2 years ago in this race, in the Nextel Cup Series, that is. He is 6th in driver points, and that's the highest he has ever been. Clicks off a lap. That's 23rd quickest, 27:57.
One thing that Richard Childress Racing has been doing with these car tomorrows that a lot of the teams are not doing. Most of the Richard Childress teams, Burton, Harvick, and Boyer, they just keep running the same car tomorrow. This is the same car that Clint raced at Martinsville and Bristol.
I tell you, when I had a good one, I rode her till there was nothing left.
And that's NASCAR's intent as Boyer picks it up to 12th, that you could run this car. You could take this car to Martinsville. You could take it to Daytona. The difference in the body specifications and all, no difference. Well, Jeff Gordon has won his 3rd Bud Pole of 2007. He is now tied for 4th on the all-time pole list with DW.
Yeah, that's right. I just realized that.
Matt?
And Jeff Gordon will start from the pole on Saturday night. How big was that run for you and this team?
Well, it's just a huge pickup. You know, coming into this race, I mean, we've been on the pole the last, I think, couple times or 2 of the last 3 or 4, and you know, qualifying's been going well for us. But the way practice went, I never dreamed we'd be on the pole today. So that's a huge accomplishment for this race team. You know, it just shows what kind of team we have right now to be able to fall behind a bit and be able to claw our way back. And that's what we've been doing all year long. And you know, we're having a lot of fun with this car right now. I know I've criticized it a lot, but we certainly got a good one out there, and really proud of all the guys in the DuPont Chevrolet. It's a great pole for us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
That is Jeff Gordon's 59th career pole. Kyle Petty's father, who has raced here, has 126. Welcome back to Phoenix, where Jeff Gordon has won his 59th career pole and his 3rd Bud Pole of 2007. He and Jamie McMurray on the front row for Saturday night on Fox. Chevy Ford front row. Hamlin and Riggs in a Dodge. The highest Toyota is Dave Blaney in 11th.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray, the only Ford in the top 16. Good qualifying run for Jeff Green. Joe Nemechek sitting up there on row 8.
Yeah, my buddy David Ruderman. All right, Rudy got him in the race. 25th.
Local boy J.J. Yaley, 22nd. Kenny Wallace, Herman makes the show.
How about that? He got on it there on that second lap. Good job, Kenny.
It's a good lap.
Really was.
Ward Burton gets in that 4 car. He was one of the go-or-go homers.
And that's so fitting, you know, with the tribute to Virginia Tech this weekend. That's fitting to have that car in the show.
Glad they made the race. Every car will carry a Virginia Tech decal on Saturday night. Dale Jarrett, 5th time this year. He has been charged with the Champions Provisional. to take up the last starting spot. So that means the going homers are Jeremy Mayfield, Michael Waltrip, John Andretti, Brian Vickers, and his teammate A.J. Allmendinger, Mike Bliss, and Brandon Ash.
You know, Jeff Gordon, he has led a lap this year in 6 of the 7 races. So where he's starting here, he'll be working on leading the lap in that 7th race.
Big Daddy.
Back in town.
Wins the pole.
But I think with the way this bonus system is structured now, by getting 10 points for each win leading into the chase, Jeff Gordon's ready to get that 24 car to victory lane.
And you'll see it all Saturday night in high definition on Fox, following Fox Saturday Baseball. Big day of sports on the Big Fox. We'll see you then.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope